Hello, Taurus, and welcome to this your June reading. I know it's a couple days into June. I'm kind of late. I'm kind of behind the eight ball. Had some personal stuff come up and I wasn't doing readings, but you really don't care about that. All you care about is me diving into your reading. So let's go ahead and get started. We're going to start off with cards that are going to tell us where you are now, what's going on for Taurus right now. That one's on the floor. That was not very nice of it to go scooting that far over. We've got another card out and another one. All right, total of three cards out. Let me just unfurl my legs here. I have to unfurl my legs because I do most of my readings with my feet off the ground. There we go. All right, we have the Hierophant, the Ten of Cups, and the King of Cups. Ooh, Taurus, what do you have going on? All right, let's start with the Hierophant. All right, let's see if it's going to come into focus. Maybe, maybe not. Okay, we'll dive into the meaning of the Hierophant. The Hierophant is one of those cards that some tarot readers absolutely love and other tarot readers absolutely hate. For me personally, it's one of my favorite cards in the entire deck. And here's why. It forces us into looking at ourselves and at our belief systems. Now, for those of you who don't know, I am in fact a certified counselor as well, and my specialty is accountability. The Hierophant is a card of accountability. It's a card of looking at the belief systems that we have in our lives and exploring where those belief systems came from. Now, most of the time, belief systems come from the institutions that we encounter as children. So, when we are born, the first institution, of course, is the institution of our families. And we adopt certain belief systems or ways of doing things because our family does things or does things a certain way or has those beliefs. We then move into society, which is an institution, the society in which or culture in which we are born into also influences us and our belief systems, how we act, how we think. And then, of course, we move into the institution of education and so on and so forth. You get the idea. So, Taurus, this card is letting me know that you're at this very important stage in your life right now where you are supposed to be looking at your belief systems. Because what the Hierophant teaches us is that the belief systems and the behaviors that we adopt as children as a direct result of the institutions that we come into contact with may no longer resonate with us when we reach adulthood and when we reach that stage or that phase in our lives when we're going, that's not working for me anymore. And I don't know how much I believe that anymore. Okay. So, really, really important time when the Hierophant comes up for us to take a good, hard, solid look at ourselves, our beliefs, and our behaviors. Are they automatic? Are they influenced by something outside of ourselves? And are those beliefs and behaviors still resonating for us? So take a good look at that, Taurus. The next card that you have is the Ten of Cups. Now, in the tarot, there are three cards that are considered the happiest cards in the deck. There's the Sun, the Star, and the Ten of Cups. So the Ten of Cups is the card of basically saying, I have achieved, I have put something out into the world saying, this is what I want to manifest. And you have, in fact, manifested that. Now, it may not have come in exactly as you had planned or predicted, but nonetheless, you are in a comfortable place, in a place of saying, I kind of got what I asked for. Okay, that's a good place to be in. And then finally, you have the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups is the emotional king. He is the king that comes forward with advice for you, particularly relating to your emotions, but also When this king appears, he can sometimes indicate that there is a new mentor coming in that's going to help you to open your heart center and move forward on your emotional growth. Now, remember, you also have the Hierophant at the beginning of this reading. Having the Hierophant and then the Ten of Cups and then the King of Cups is kind of putting it into perspective that what you are meant to be looking at this time is your emotional attachments to certain things. What comes to mind is I'm just going to pick a big one. This is a big one for many people. The belief around marriage. Now, the vast majority of families, cultures, religions, educational institutions all advocate for monogamy and lifelong partnerships. But for many people are waking up to the realization that the person that they are at the age of 18, 19, 20, when they fall in love initially and they get married in their early mid 20s, is not the person that they continue to be in their 40s and 50s. And their partner isn't the same person either. And unless they have grown into the same path and the same journey, oftentimes what happens is people come together and then they do this. And that's one of the big concepts that the Hierophant brings up, but it's also very near and dear to so many of our hearts because it's a near and dear concept or belief that is near and dear to our friends and our family whom we respect and we don't want to offend. But by the same token, is it still resonating for us? So with this King of Cups coming up, with this Hierophant and the Ten of Cups in the middle, there's a lot of deep exploration that's happening for you at this time, Taurus. So let's dive into what you are focusing on. What are you focusing on and putting your attentions on for the remainder of June for Taurus? I love it. I love it. All right, the card that came up, there is one and only card that came up for you for what you are focusing on. And that is the equivalent to the Four of Cups. This is the card of turning in or tuning in. It is the card of no longer listening to the chatter that is all around you and instead turning in and tuning into self and coming up with your own self realizations. What is important to you, Taurus? This is what you are working on in June. And I love that you had the Hierophant as your very first card. And then for your focus, you have the Four of Cups. Absolutely beautiful and amazing. Now, let's pull some cards and take a look at what might be getting in your way. Where are we going for difficult influences and challenges, please? All right, we got pulled over here. Difficult influences and challenges for Taurus for June. Got two cards, and that one's on the floor too. I'm going to have to unfurl my legs again. All right. Is there anything else for Taurus? Let's hope not, because we're pulling cards for difficult influences right now. Right. Yeah, there's something that you're going to be walking away from, Taurus. Interesting. You have the Four of Wands and you have the Eight of Swords. Yeah, your reading is really, really coming together. All of the cards are tying in together nicely here for you, Taurus. So the Four of Wands is about wishing and hoping for the best and the success and the coming together and the happily ever after and so on. But it is a card of saying that you're still in the process of working towards that and something may be standing in your way. So this is the Four of Wands. Generally, it is a positive card, but it's also a card of saying that you're not quite there yet. The Ten of Cups is saying that you are there yet and you have manifested what you were looking to manifest. Although the caveat, the caveat with the Ten of Cups is this. There is the saying, be careful what you wish for, right? Aladdin's lamp. Right? You look at the issues that come up, I mean, there's so many different variations of Aladdin's lamp through the years, but essentially, Aladdin's lamp is about be careful what you wish for. And that's the downside of the 10 of cups, that you may have manifested what you were looking for, but it may not look exactly like what you thought you were asking for. And the Four of Wands is also a card of manifestation. It's a card of looking towards the perfect life and working towards manifesting it. It came up in your difficult influences, meaning that you're bumping into something. Something is preventing you from fully achieving and manifesting what you're looking for. Now, you have the Eight of Swords and the Six of Swords coming up here. I'm just going to turn off my light for a second so that these will focus for you. Okay. Let's start off here first with the Eight of Swords. It came up first. You'll notice here the character is bound up, but the bindings are very loose. There is a blindfold on, but again, the blindfold is not tight enough that they're completely blinded. They can still peek behind it. It almost appears as though there are swords going all the way around the character, but not quite. What is the meaning of this card? This card is indicating that, again, this is an accountability card. This card is indicating that we may feel like we're trapped. But if we are fully accountable to ourselves in our lives, we have to recognize that when we feel trapped, it's because it's a position that we've put ourselves in. And that is a really, really hard pill to swallow. But let's go back just a moment to the example that I gave with regards to the Hierophant and the institution of marriage and the institution of monogamy and staying together with the same partner for an entire lifetime. I have clients come to me all the time saying, I feel so trapped in my life. I'm trapped in an unhappy marriage. I don't want to be here. I want out. But I can't leave. That, my friends, my Tauran friends, is the Eight of Swords. Why can't you leave? Oh, I can't leave because my mom would kill me. I can't leave because my dad will write me out of his will. I can't leave because my husband and I will fight over custody of the children. I can't leave because I want my children to have their father in their lives. I'm using the female example because I am female, but it goes the other way as well, where men also reach out to me for guidance and accountability. And they say, oh, I can't leave my wife because she's going to take me to the cleaners. I can't take my wife because I still want to have access to my children. There's all these reasons why people don't leave an unhappy marriage. And I'm just using marriage as an example here, Taurus. I understand that your situation may be different. In fact, I'm sensing that for at least 40% of those of you who are going to be watching this video, this isn't about a personal relationship. In fact, this is about your job or your career, where you feel like you are trapped in your job or your career, that you can't move forward. And yet, the reason that you're staying in your career is because you're afraid to change. And so there may be excuses coming up. Now, I can hear some of you going, yeah, but I have rent due and I have to still put food on the table and I have a car payment and my insurance is due next week and I can't quit my job. No, you might not be able to quit your job right now, but have you sent out any resumes? Have you reached out and let people know outside of your boss? I mean, obviously, you're not going to go to your boss and say, hey, I'm looking for another job. But have you set the wheels in motion to get out of a situation where you're feeling like you're trapped. Because if you haven't, then you are allowing yourself to stay trapped. Okay. Moving into the Six of Swords, which is also in your difficult influences. Let's just go like this. So, the Six of Swords is a card of walk away from something that no longer serves your highest good. You'll notice here that the character has loaded his partner onto a raft. He's loaded his swords onto the raft and he is pushing away from shore and not looking back. There is something that you need to walk away from. It indicates that you are putting your past troubles behind you. You need to walk away. The beginning of a new phase is just around the corner when you make the choice to walk away. I don't normally read what's on the cards, but I kind of thought that it was important to read this one because it says it so much better and more succinctly than I can, Taurus. So, before we move into messages from the universe as well as your unexpected in this reading, let's just recap. You're currently dealing with a certain belief system that is no longer resonating for you, and you're trying to decide if you're going to walk away from that belief system or not. That's going to call for you to spend some time turning in or tuning in and shutting out all of these external voices. And in so doing, there is something that you need to walk away from, something that is making you feel like you're trapped, but you need to walk away from. That is postponing your Four of Wands and Ten of Cups. Messages that the universe wants you to hear at this time. Messages for, oh, geez, both of them are on the floor. You know, I've done a whole bunch of readings for June and I've had no cards land on the floor until your reading, Taurus. I don't know what's going on. All right. There's one. Where did the other one's still on my lap. Okay. All right. Taurus, messages the universe wants you to hear at this time. Kindness counts. No matter what you are going through at this time, Taurus, kindness counts. Okay. Sometimes when we're going through a really difficult time, walking away is the kindest thing you can do. Just, you know, I'm going to share this. A long time ago, I was in a very heated argument with someone who was a few years older than I was. And in the midst of the argument, I just said, you know what? I'm going to walk away. I am not telling you to talk to the hand. I am not being rude here, but our conversation is going nowhere. Let's revisit it once we both calm down. And then I went and I did the Eight of Swords thing and I beat myself up over and over. Oh my gosh, I shouldn't have done that. And I should have ended I should have stayed there and ended the conversation and so on. Do you know what happened, Taurus? When I got back together with the person that I had been arguing with, they said to me that walking away was one of the kindest things I could have done in the moment for both of us. So that we both had the opportunity to go our separate ways, regroup, do a whole lot of this tuning in, paying attention to our own thoughts, shutting out the outside world, and then revisiting the matter at hand. So I don't know why. That is something I have not thought about for a long time, but it came to mind. So I've shared it with you. Focus on the positive, and then you have worry is a wasted emotion. These are two messages that the universe wants you to hear at this time, Taurus. Oh my goodness. These two cards came out separately in the deck and then came together while I was doing this reading. So let me see. Is it important? I would say so, yeah. Okay. Let's take a look at what's coming up unexpectedly for you. Unexpected for Taurus. for the rest of the month of June. Unexpected. Oh, we got one card. It's going to come out. 2 cards. Oh, a few cards. Yay. All right. Let's drop the deck. All right. I'm going to pull these out because they did not fall back in. And let's see what we have in the order that they came out. We have the Two of Autumn. The Two of Autumn corresponds to the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles is about needing to make a decision with regards to money and finances. We have the Justice card. Oh, interesting. Bringing in some balance. Ace of Autumn, new beginning with regards to money and finances. And the King of Autumn. Oh my goodness, Taurus, you are definitely moving into something financial as you move through the month of June. I'm going to go out on a limb here and make a bold prediction that as you entered the month of June, you were going through something pretty freaking emotional. A whole lot of emotional turmoil. You were having trouble making some decisions. You did receive some advice with regards to this. And by the 14th of the month, I don't know why 14 is coming in, but 14 is coming in for me. By the 14th of the month, there's a shift that you're going to feel, Taurus, where you kind of feel like you're coming out of this emotional fog or haze, and it's going to give you an opportunity to shift back into a concentration of what you're doing with your time. This is not just about career. It's not just about money. It's about your purpose is what's coming in for me. And that's the first time in a really long time that sort of life purpose has come up in a reading for in these general readings. I mean, normally life purpose does not come up in these general readings. So Taurus, this is big. This is really big that I really feel that with the Hierophant coming up, end of May, early June, what you were concentrating on was something very personal, very emotional. And as you've worked through that, you've kind of expanded your horizons and expanded your awareness into now concentrating more on, okay, well, now that all this emotional debris is no longer influencing me, I can focus on what's my bigger purpose? What am I meant to be doing? Where am I meant to be going? Which way am I meant to be turning? So, Two of Autumn is about making a decision. I want to say it's going to be about your life purpose, and that does involve money and finances. Okay, so in the tarot, each of the different suits corresponds to different aspects of our lives, including different elements. Pentacles, or autumn, as it is in the fairy deck, corresponds to earth, real, tangible, touchable things like money, like our homes, real estate, acquisition of things, or letting things go. That's what this is about. Okay, Two of Autumn, making some decisions. This may be involving making a move of some kind as well, or it may involve like changing jobs, which may involve a move. And there's money somehow involved. Justice. This is about finding balance in what you are looking towards doing. Let me just show you the card here. This is, the Justice card is about finding balance. I do want to say the caveat or the downside to the Justice card coming in is Taurus, be really careful right now if you are entering into any kind of contracts, like if you are changing jobs or doing, I don't know, real estate, selling, buying, changing jobs. Yeah, if you're doing any of that, make sure that you're reading the contract really, really closely and paying attention to the details. That's really, really important with when the Justice card appears for us. Next, you have the Ace of Autumn. Ace of Autumn is about new beginnings. Again, this is with regards to the element of earth. So something that is tangible, something that is very much real and earthbound, money, and so on. And then you have the king, and the king of autumn is the king who is the richest king. He's the most abundant king. Now, whenever the kings appear in tarot, they always bring us advice. So it is most likely that unexpectedly you're going to receive either some good news or some very good advice about money and finances and so on during the latter half of June. Let's go into your final general overall outcome. Okay, I'm just going to move those. Final general overall outcome for Taurus, please. Two of Pentacles a second time. Yeah, there's a decision that you're going to have to make with regards to something that is very earthly, earthbound, money and finances related. As I already mentioned, that could. Oh, oh. All right. And you also got the Hierophant again, a second time. All right. Let's put these together in the order in which they came out. In your final general overall outcome, you have the Two of Pentacles again. Two of Pentacles corresponds to or is the exact same as this Two of Autumn, exact same meaning. This is about needing to make a decision about something that is very earthly, earthbound, tangible, money, job, career, real estate, possibly moving, relocating, something along those lines is coming up for you, Taurus. So by the end of the month, you're going to be asked to make that decision. That decision is likely going to be influenced again by the Hierophant, by your deeply held beliefs, and by a change or a shift in those deeply held beliefs. The next card that you have in your outcome is the Queen of Pentacles. Interesting, right? That you have the Queen of Pentacles and the King of Pentacles coming out. When this happens in a reading, even if the cards come out in a slightly different section or area, it can often indicate a new partnership of the romantic nature, or it could indicate a new financial partnership coming up for you. So pay attention to the possibility of a financial partnership coming in, romantic partnership, or a combination therein. But Taurus, remember that you have the Justice card in your unexpected, which means that if you are entering into any kind of agreement with regards to a partnership, make sure that you are dotting your I's, crossing your T's, and if I may even go so far as to get proper legal counsel with regards to any contracts that you might be entering into during the month of June. And I want to say entering into the first week or 10 days of July as well. And finally, you have the Knight of Cups coming in. Knight of Cups is the romantic knight. Now, as this card is coming out in your final card of your reading, and given how exciting everything else was, the issue with the Knight of Cups is that he is sometimes fleeting in what he does. He comes riding in on his beautiful white horse, he sweeps you off your feet, and just as quickly as he arrives and sweeps you off your feet, he may go riding off into the sunset. So, whatever is coming up for you, and that may be why the Justice card has come in for you for June. Whatever's coming in, watch for and just be wary of it being fleeting and not long lasting. Now, is that a bad thing? No, absolutely not. And in fact, for those of you who are perhaps looking for a new job or a career change or shift, it might actually be a good thing. There's a possibility that you might be moving into a new partnership. You might be learning a whole bunch of new stuff, new skills to be able to, and that's kind of a fleeting area of our lives. And then you're going to move into something more individualized is what I'm kind of picking up. So just be on the lookout for something to be a little bit fleeting near the end of the month. Possibly something romantic might flit in and open your eyes to something, and then it's going to leave. But there's a lesson there for you, Taurus. All right. I hope that you've enjoyed this reading. Please like and subscribe.